Blake Lively was not at the Academy Awards on Sunday, but...
And this case just continues to not be black and white.
There it is. That's the pop apologist.
LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us movie, LLC.
Particularly a part about Ryan Reynolds, but let's go through. I can sort of summarize and tell you some insight as to what this all means.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have long been admired as Hollywood's ultimate power couple, effortlessly charming fans with their picture-perfect relationship. However, startling new revelations about the lawsuit involving Justin Baldoni are now threatening to shatter that flawless facade. With shocking secrets coming to light and some eyebrow-raising legal strategies in play, things seem to be unraveling quickly for the beloved duo. And now, it's not just Blake facing the heat. Ryan Reynolds has officially been pulled into the growing scandal. Could this turn of events be the most disastrous move of their careers?
But Blake was going to Sony with her complaints. Initially, though, she said she was going to them with complaints, but it turns out those complaints might have just been based on COVID protocol, which, again, would be very different than the story we were led to believe. While Sony was going after Justin Baldoni, sending him some mean messages, being like, dude, what the hell, man? Like, you know, what are you doing over there? Not realizing that they were part of a sort of plan by Blake Lively to take the film over from them. So it's very dramatic, and it shares Sony actually offering Justin Baldoni advice on how to handle all of her concerns. So you really get to see them being put in the middle, and in the end, they're going to try to please everybody. On one end, they're distributing Baldoni's film, so they got to please him, and on the other, they got to make sure Blake Lively plays ball, promotes the trailer, and does all of that. So
Blake Lively's case against Justin Baldoni was already complicated, but things took an unexpected turn. According to recent reports, Blake's legal tactic may have backfired. And now Ryan Reynolds is suffering the consequences. Ryan has managed to avoid the drama for many years. However, his reputation is now jeopardized because his name has been linked to the litigation.
Purely a part about Ryan Reynolds, but let's go through. I can sort of summarize and tell you some insight as to what this all means. So the film has now already made 242 million worldwide. It could reach up to 300 million, and that's a huge amount for a summer film like this, especially one like this. It appealed though to female audiences, and it's now taken off. Hugely profitable, as the movie only cost 25 million to produce, and is expected to net at least 25 to 30 million profits for both Sony and directors Wayfair Studios, which is Justin Baldoni's, the director-actors production company, which financed it with TSG Entertainment. The deal-making points puts that figure at double. Those margins don't include proceeds for cinema or box office bonuses for Blake and Baldoni. At the end of the day, it's a lot of money that everyone's going to now reap from this reward. Now, the sequel is an obvious, like, well, duh, they have a book Colleen Hoover has written. It starts with us in the final cut of the film. Sources say that came as news to Baldoni, who thought the scene had been ad-libbed by Blake. So I guess that's because a lot of people are like, well, how could he have not known that the scene was written? He's the director, and I shared that too. But apparently she had just had her lines rewritten, so she was funny. And if you've seen that rooftop scene, it makes more sense, given what she's saying, that he must have buttoned up her dialogue so he could respond better and sort of ad-lib with him, and he didn't realize that was given to her by Ryan Reynolds, apparently. The other issue is that the WGA is now potentially involved. It could be a guild violation.
The ripple effects of this scandal are reaching far beyond just Blake and Ryan. Now, it's causing shockwaves throughout the entire cast of It Ends With Us. During the Oscars red carpet, one of Blake's co-stars was caught off guard when asked about the lawsuit, and their response spoke volumes. Hollywood may thrive on scandal, but when even your own co-stars hesitate to address it, you know things are seriously off.
Actress Blake Lively was not at the Academy Awards on Sunday, but the up-and-coming film editor was definitely a topic of conversation everywhere in Los Angeles the past week. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, has never been nominated for an Oscar either, but he is a member of the Academy. He, too, skipped the big ceremony. And Justin Baldoni was not there either, obviously. But this fella did hit up the party circuit. Some of you might know Brandon Sklenner from 1923, the TV show, or from It Ends With Us. He has previously come out in support of Blake Lively. Are you Team Blake or Team Justin? Sklenner responded saying, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for, and just keeping the focus on that. I have someone very close to me who's going through what Lily, the character that the Plantation Princess played, is going through for a long time, and I've been on the front lines helping her navigate that space. So that movie meant a lot to me, and it means a lot to her. It was one of the reasons that me doing that movie gave her the strength to change her life. It's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets convoluted. So, that was a few weeks ago, on Sunday night at the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
Ryan Reynolds has long been one of Hollywood's most reliable and beloved stars. But lately, things seem to be taking a sharp turn. According to insiders, his connection to Blake's lawsuit is causing significant harm to his career. Some even speculate that this could be the breaking point, the moment when Ryan's entire Hollywood empire might begin to crumble. For years, he was seen as unstoppable, but now it appears that the internet might be starting to turn on him.
Blake and Ryan get the rights so they can shoot a sequel to the movie. They get full control, no problem. And the New York Times basically teamed up with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to ruin Justin's reputation. Now, I know actors suing each other for their reputation may seem stupid, and it kind of is, but you gotta understand, the celebrities of this caliber especially, their reputation really is everything. They got products outside of this. If you don't like them, then you don't buy their products outside of this. They lose out on millions. They also lose out on acting roles. Their careers are basically ruined. So they're suing each other for millions. Blake suing Justin, Justin suing Blake and Ryan. So people said, okay, this is a he said, she said thing. We don't know who to believe. But like I told you earlier, this story is deeper than it seems. Justin comes out and says, how about this? How about I prove I'm right? And they're all lying. And here's where things start to get wickeder.
As new evidence comes to light, it appears that Blake's team is scrambling to manage the fallout. Insiders reveal that journalists and media outlets have allegedly been pressured to steer clear of specific details about the case, particularly those involving accusations against Justin Baldoni. This begs a crucial question. If Blake truly has nothing to conceal, why is her team so concerned about controlling the narrative?
Then she wanted access to the editing bay with the director. She wanted to hire her own editors as well. So she did, so that they could make her version and cut of the film, right? And what'd she do then? Well, she goes and screams it to her friends and family. She goes to Book Bonanza, uninvites Justin Baldoni, invites the rest of the cast to screen a movie that she edited with her own editors that Justin Baldoni didn't even get to watch his own film. The director of the film didn't even get to watch his own film. Then what else happened? Well, Ryan Reynolds, he openly mocks Justin Baldoni and why, no bias, right? Justin Baldoni mixed to negative. The article spends significant time discussing Baldoni's connection to the Baha'i faith and how his religious and personal behaviors may have contributed to the conflict. Again, how his views, personal behaviors related to his faith has contributed to the conflict, right? And it goes on and says, the article also details how his faith-driven approach made people uncomfortable compared to the Scientology. It highlights allegations of unprofessional conduct on set, again, asking people how they feel to express moments of joy in meetings. Like that's what they got. That's the spin that they're taking right now. And if you look on Blake Lively's sentiment analysis, it's generally positive, with some nuances.
While Blake and Ryan's PR crisis worsens, Justin Baldoni refuses to back down. In fact, he's now calling Blake out directly for allegedly attempting to prevent evidence from being made public. Could this be the moment when the entire story changes?
The fact that Taylor Swift does not want to be near Blake Lively right now. And this case just continues to not be black and white.
There it is. That's the pop apologist discussing why Taylor Swift has been quiet on the sidelines. Again, pop apologist looks like we're going to have on our show very soon, working on a date there, but very interested to hear their other opinions on the matter. They cover all things pop culture news. They've crushed it on this case. And yeah, I mean, and I don't blame Blake. You know, she doesn't know. And when you don't know, you don't bet your full hand. When you know, like Kesha, when you know somebody's been completely bent over and you know, in Kesha's case, she, you know, valid complaints, you stand up for people like that. With Blake, she's going, okay, you know what?
For years, Blake and Ryan's playful exchanges on social media were the stuff of Hollywood romance legends. They were the hilarious, down-to-earth couple that fans couldn't get enough of. But lately, things are starting to look a bit different. Blake once teased about the boundaries when it comes to poking fun at Ryan online. But now, with the lawsuit gaining traction, some of those jokes are beginning to raise eyebrows. Have they been using humor to mask something deeper all along?
This was Ryan's birthday?
Yes.
And
yes.
and you wrote, I picked a good one?
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's dad jokes, right? I'm just a dad now, I guess.
And then he returned the favor on your birthday. He did a series of photos where you're just either slightly off camera, your eyes are closed, out of focus.
Yeah. It's alarming to me how many of these photos he found, though, where I look like this. And I have a Barbie in my lap, and I'm like, what is happening here? But he looks handsome in all of them. I really gotta work on my photo face. I don't know.
It's aggravating, isn't it? Because he always looks like perfect like that.
I know. I gotta dig some.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're great. You're good. Let's talk the new movie, okay? Because as Michael said, you play an assassin. It was so cute when you posted the trailer.
Ryan has long been Hollywood's go-to guy for humor and charisma. However, with this lawsuit making headlines, his popularity is taking a serious hit. The internet isn't holding back, and fans are starting to glimpse a whole new side of him. For someone whose career thrives on a spotless image, this could spell disaster.
As a person, it's more so like what he represents with the current state of Hollywood and like, oh shit. There's another elephant in the room that we have to address before we go any further. I remember seeing the first Deadpool in theaters back in 2016. I haven't seen it in a while, but I liked it at the time. I'm sure a lot of the jokes in it probably still hold up. But I think we need to remember that Deadpool came out in like a different culture. A timeline so different that two of that movie's most prominent stars were TJ Miller and Gina Carano. This 2024, we're all a little bit more jaded and cynical and tired of like, you know, Hollywood fuckery and whatnot. And I think that has allowed everybody to collectively embrace the mindset of like, let's unpack Ryan Reynolds and his current place in popular culture.
Which is how I shattered my hand. We shut out for 6 months. Yeah, my hand basically turned to like feta cheese. It's just like,
how'd you do that? What happened?
I was like lunging towards Jude Law with my fake rubber knife, and my hand collided with his elbow, and I, broke some things and dislocated some things and severed a ligament, and yeah, it was pretty intense. But that's why you guys have to see this movie. I gave my right hand for something.
That's right. Would you all like to see a little snippet?
Yes.
As Blake and Ryan's reputations suffer, Justin Baldoni walks away with a significant victory. According to recent sources, his legal team has just won a significant victory, demonstrating that this battle is far from over. This case is getting messier by the day, and Blake's side appears to be losing control.
Studios, LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movie, LLC, Melissa Nathan, The Agency Group, and Jennifer Abel moved to squash subpoenas issued to cellular providers AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile by Blake Lively. For the reasons that follow, the motion is granted in part and denied in part. Lively served the subpoenas on or around February 12th. The subpoenas requested all documents concerning ingoing and outgoing calls or text messages related to telephone numbers belonging to certain Wayfarer parties and related individuals. Within the time period of December 1st, 2022 to the present, the hair care professional wanted all of this information for an over 2-year period.
In a surprising twist to this unfolding drama, rumors about Ryan Reynolds' temper have started making waves. Recent reports suggest that, behind the scenes, Ryan might have been far more irritable than anyone suspected. There's even speculation that his involvement in this lawsuit might be much greater than he's admitting. So, could this be the real reason why so many people are suddenly turning against him? Blake and Ryan forged their careers as Hollywood's most popular pair, but it appears that image is finally falling apart.